Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Vista in California. Hope you're all having a super fantastic sparkling start to your Serenity Sunday. There's a lot of S's in there. Super fantastic sparkling start to your Serenity Sunday. Excellent. All right, now that I've got that out of the way, how was your Saturday night? Did you have a good Saturday night? Did you go out and party? Did you stay at home relax? Did you watch a movie? What did you do? We were watching more Sea Patrol. We're kind of binging that a little bit. We watched 2 to 3 episodes a night. And Sea Patrol is based on a show about a patrol boat in the Australian Navy and the crew on board and their relationships and going out there and dealing with, the drug runners and the arms dealers and missing people and men overboard, women overboard, all of that sort of good stuff. How was your Saturday night? So Serenity Sunday. So I came across this great quote, which when I thought about it, I thought, ooh, this is a good one. Okay, so this was by Nene Hoffman. She said, Sunday is the day when I prepare for the week ahead by making improbable to-do lists and browsing Pinterest for ideas on how to decorate my imaginary mansion. I thought, that is fantastic. And people go, why would I find that fantastic? Because she's doing something out of the norm. She's making improbable to-do lists and decorating an imaginary mansion. Now think about that. When you're doing that, that's almost, if it's something that you don't normally do, or if it's something that you do only once a week, what does that do for the week coming up? And I thought about that and I thought, ooh, if it's not a normal routine, like a day-to-day thing, it's just like a once-a-week thing or a once-a-month thing, you're opening your minds to possibilities. When you go out there and you're looking for, you're making improbable to-do lists, are they really improbable? Or are they things that you're allowing the subconscious to do the writing for you, and they end up on these to-do lists, and you might go back one day and find that you actually accomplished some of them. Then as far as the imaginary decorating goes of the mansion, I thought, ooh, that triggers the creativity. So now you're kind of preparing the brain for the week. You're giving it a mini reboot, which is awesome. I'm all about rebooting the brain. But now your imagination, your creativity has now been triggered. So do you think that maybe if you had a problem last week that you haven't been able to solve, that you might be able to go in on Monday morning and all of a sudden the solution presents itself because you've now rebooted the brain a little bit over the weekend, and all of a sudden there's the solution. You're thinking, oh my God, that was so easy. Why did I not see that before? So doing things like that, getting stuck in rabbit holes, like Pinterest is a huge I stay away from Pinterest. I very rarely go in there because it is such a huge rabbit hole for me. Yes, I very rarely, I have got a board on there and I occasionally post. I think the last time I posted was a few weeks ago. Trying to get daily ones on there, but that didn't work because I kept getting shiny object syndrome going all over the place. It's kind of like when I'm doing genealogy and you find that thread and you just start pulling it. And then all of a sudden these little threads start fraying off onto the side and it's like, ooh, let's go over here. No, hang on, I'm going to get back over here. So you take your notes down for that one. So that's where your research log comes in handy, when you know the person that you're researching and what you're researching, but then you notice other things coming up that you need to go back and research. So now you make your genealogy to-do list. So it's the same sort of thing. So that when you're going down rabbit holes, Pinterest is a huge rabbit hole. There's many tunnels in that burrow. Think of Alice in Wonderland going down the rabbit hole. I mean, what did she encounter down there? Lots of crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. But if you do things like this on Sundays where you're doing something different, it could be, you may want to go read your book for the day. You may want to put your feet up. You may want to binge watch something. You may be into sports, whatever it is that you relax. But this one I found good when she says, making improbable to-do lists. And I'm like, what's an improbable to-do list? Is this things that you would like to do? Is it sort of like making a bucket list or something? But improbable to-do list. I thought, that could get things going, because if you're journaling these improbable to-do lists, there's something about taking a pen and putting it to paper and actually writing it. Yes, some people will type it directly on the computer. I can't do that. There's only one piece of writing that I've actually done, which is my piece of flash fiction I talk about every now and again. The first piece of flash fiction I ever did. And that's the only piece where I did not write it on paper first. I sat down at the laptop and wrote the piece straight out. I have never done that before with my writing. My writing is always sitting down with pen and paper. I've got journals full of writing ideas, full of scenes, full of plot lines, that sort of thing. And I came across my notebook the other day for one of my series, and I was like, oh, that's where that went. Yes. And so I flipped through it and thought, ooh, this is actually pretty good. So I may even do some writing today. Who knows? But today, Sunday, is all about, it's getting ready. It is preparing yourself for the week in a way, but at the same time, it is taking that time to relax in whatever way. Some people like to go rock climbing or mountain climbing or hiking or running or playing, what's the sport over here that you guys do? Racquetball. I like squash. Playing some sort of sports, watching sports, just blobbing for the day. That's okay. If that's what helps you reboot and get ready for the week, that's fine. But if you're somebody like me who has a bit of a crazy mind, Sunday is typically my day off. I'd like to unplug on Sundays. It doesn't always happen that way, but this Sunday I'm going to be prepping for this week because I've got to pack up the RV today because we move tomorrow. We're heading towards Arizona, where we're going to be for the next 3 months. And so we're prepping the RV for travel tomorrow. We've got laundry to do today. We're going to have to clean the RV. All this little bits of dog food that's on the floor. I don't know what it is up with my dog, but when she eats, she has a mat in front of her dishes that she'll sometimes eat on, but other times she'll turn around, walk a couple of paces down the RV, open her mouth, drop the food on the floor, and then pick it up and eat it piece by piece. And it's almost like she's sorting out her food because there's these little round ball things that's in her food. And this was hilarious. I was actually on a Zoom last week, I think it was, with a friend of mine who I hadn't seen or spoken to for a while. So we were catching up and all of that. And I was like, hang a sec. And I looked down and says, oh my gosh, you're not going to believe this. She said, well, I was trying to figure out what Zeffie was doing. She goes, what was she doing? I says, hang a sec. So I leaned over, took a picture of it, showed it to her on the camera. And I said, she was eating her food. And I said, but look at this. And these little ball things, she had 3 of them in a row, equal distance apart. I kid you not. I'm sitting here on the Zoom call with my friend. I look over and I go, oh my gosh, you're not going to believe this. Took a picture of it and showed it to her. And she's like, oh. So, my dog does crazy things. So there's all these little bits of dog food around that I've got to go pick up and vacuum up and all that. So we'll get the RV prepped for travel tomorrow, do like the oil check. And can't do the tires because they're up on chocks at the moment. And not going to do them as soon as I put them down because we're on the slope, which means the front tires are going to have more pressure on them than the back tires will. So not a good time to take pressure. You need to be on a level surface. So we'll find a level surface to do that. And got my little air compressor there so I can pump up my tires if I need to. And because there's not many places you can go where you can actually do the size tires that I have on the RV, or that have the hoses long enough to reach like the back tires or the other side of the RV, because I'm a 32-foot vehicle, and it makes it fun. And I got 6 tires to check. I only have 2 axles, but I got 6 tires to check, so it's interesting. But yeah, so open your mind to possibilities. Say, go do things, go get lost in, if you want to get on the computer or something, go get lost in rabbit holes. Don't do anything for work. No work stuff allowed today. But, start dreaming, start opening up, go decorate your imaginary mansion or go play in your imaginary house. I mean, I have plans in my head that I'm going to write down today about a piece of land I want to purchase, where I want to purchase it, although I don't know what state it is in or what town it is near. I just know what the actual piece of land is going to look like when it's done. And it's an expansion on a dream I've always had. I've always had this goal to have a log cabin on a lake, on the edge of a lake surrounded by trees. Close enough to town for emergencies and grocery shopping and that sort of stuff, but far enough out that you don't hear the traffic noise and that you feel like, you're in your own little paradise. But that dream's kind of expanded a little bit. I still got my log cabin there, but it's what's going on the rest of the property that has been brewing in my mind over the 5,890 miles we just completed. So I'm sort of like, yeah, but I don't know where this piece of land is. I just know it is there. There will be a log cabin built on it, and there will be other things built on this side as well. I just don't know where it will be built, and I don't know when I'm going to encounter it. It is already here. I'm going to write it down. And if I put a date on it, that would, Yes, I have to put a date on that. But, go have an imagination, go imagine things. What is the wildest thing that you can imagine, and then go research it? What is the wildest thing? Do you want to go on a space flight? Do you want to go fly into space? Do you want to do a round the world cruise? Go start researching things like that, so that you can, if you find that outlandish goal that you think you will never ever get, it's just nice to have this dream. What is your biggest dream that you really that you would like to do if you can? Money's no object. Time is not a barrier as well. But what if you had all the resources available to do that one thing that you've always wanted to do? What is it? Go research it. Find what it is that you're looking for. Like, I have been looking for plans on log cabins for eons, because there's a particular, I might have to actually get somebody to draw them up for me, because I've gone out there to all the places that have log cabins, where they design them and build them and all that sort of stuff, and nobody has a floor plan. They have floor plans that are close, but would still require some major alterations to them to get exactly what I want. So I know what my log cabin looks like. I know what the outside looks like. I know what the floor plan is on the inside. So I'm going to have to go draw it all up. And actually, I might go, I have a journal. I have empty journals, so I might go grab one of those and make it my log cabin journal, where I draw up my floor plans in there, and start researching stuff and printing stuff off and putting it into my log cabin journal. Ooh, I like that. Hang on. Log cabin. I'm just writing this down. Log cabin journal. Ooh. Yes. Thank you for the idea. See, talking about inspiration. You never know where it's going to come from. You never know where the next idea is going to come from, which is why I love driving. And I desperately want to find my digital recorder. And I have a feeling I know exactly where it is now after thinking about it, because the last place I saw it was in the pocket of Animal. And I know I took everything out of Animal, and I had a plastic, one of those plastic containers with a lid on it. And I took everything out of Animal that was not being sold with Animal, like, Animal's book stayed in there with all of its bits and pieces. But everything else I took out of Animal and I put in this plastic container, and I have a feeling that that's where my digital recorder is. So one of the things we're going to do tomorrow on our trip out is stop by the storage unit, pick that up, because I need my digital recorder. It's a one-button operation to start it and stop it. Whereas people say, oh, you could use the voice recorder on my phone. No, I can't, because my phone is my GPS. So I can't do that. So I can't use that. So I need to find my digital recorder. Plus, figuring around with a phone while I'm driving, absolutely not. No way, no how. But a one-touch digital recorder, I can handle that. I can pick it up, press the button, and I've already got the whole button. I have the whole button off before I drive, and then I just pick it up, press the record button, record what I need to record, press the button again, it stops it, and I carry on for the next idea. And gotta find my little pocket thing. I have a little pocket thing that that goes around my neck that I made, that my digital recorder sits in, so it's a completely hands-free operation. So it's touch the button, hands off. It's like when you wear Bluetooth stuff. You touch a button and it turns on, touch a button, it turns off. Same thing with my digital recorder. And I have a little pouchy thing that I made that goes around my neck for it to sit in. So the microphones are pointing upwards, so you can catch it. And then I have one touch operation. See, hands-free. It's amazing what you can think of when you need it. But I've got to get my recorder. So many ideas float through the head, and then I have to find the next rest area so I can write them all down before they disappear. Some ideas have disappeared, which is a shame, because they were really, really good ideas. But they will come back when they need to. I am convinced that they will absolutely come back when they need to. But anyway, so your task for today is to go and unplug if you wish. Well, if you're going to be online, do stuff you've never done before. Go create some outrageous dream album. I actually had one created one time. What is 100 things you would like to see and do in your lifetime? And they can be, I actually had one that I had put photographs in there, and I actually found it when we were packing up the house last April, and I kind of quickly just flipped through it, and I was surprised, and I was like, oh, I've done that, cross that one off. Going through, oh, I've done that one, cross that one off. And I was going through it, and it was amazing. Out of the 100 things that were, actually I had 132 things on the list. Out of the 132 things on the list, about a third of them got crossed off. When I went, and then I was going through and going, oh, done that. So that was kind of cool to go through and see that and then go, now what else did I have on this list again? So, those things are back in the subconscious again because I've now seen them in my journal that I created for my dream journal. So what's 100 things? So create a dream journal of 100 things you want to see and do in this lifetime. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be something as simple as buying a dining room set or getting drapes for the house or putting new flooring down in the house or buying that dress that you've got that occasion, you've got a special occasion coming up and that's one dress that you've seen that you would love to get for that special occasion. It's something as small as, a new pair of running shoes. To something outlandish as buying an island and building your dream home on your island and having access to it by air or boat only, no road access. So you've got your launch that you take to and from the island because there's that little jetty out there that you can tie up at. Or you've got the helipad in the back, out there in the backyard there somewhere where the helicopters can land and all that sort of stuff. So, go wild. And when you're doing this dream list, it's sort of like, just write things down and start and number 100 and go down in the numbers because sometimes with the brain, when you number from 1 to 100, it's sort of like, oh, I've only got 70 things written down. But if you're going from 100 down to 1, you get down and you go, oh, but I've got 30 things left to come up with. Oh, what can we come up with? Oh, I've got plenty of room to put some ideas in. And you might even just go surfing through Pinterest or surfing on the internet to find things. Like I'm always looking around when I walk around the RV parks, I'm always looking at the different RVs that are around. And some of them will catch my eye. I'm like, oh, so I'll take a note of it, of the make and model of that thing and of that one. Like there's one here which looks really, really cool. And so I noted the make of the RV, so the manufacturer of the RV, so now I'm going to go look it up and have a look at it because it looks really cool. And it's kind of like a retro look to it, but it's brand spanking new. So I thought, that's really cool. Wonder what the layout's like. And so I'll go see RVs that look really cool on the outside and go, I wonder what the layout's like in those ones. Let me go have a look. Because I'm always looking for sparkles too. So sparkles one, it's definitely going to get replaced. Whether it'll be going from one RV to another RV or from an RV to a fixed location for a while and then like sell sparkles, buy a place, rent a place, and then go purchase purchase sparkles 2 later on. I don't know. I'm still figuring all of that out right now as to what I'm going to do. But sparkles 2 is definitely on the horizon. And so I'm on the hunt for sparkles 2. I've already got my list. I actually have written down a list of what I want, what I like about this RV, and what I want in the next one that this one doesn't have. So that's it from me for today. Go have fun, be creative, because that will prepare you for the week. It'll give you a lot of opportunities. When you get creative or you have that relaxation time, it helps reboot the brain, and then you can start the new week with this beautiful creativity and imagination, and you'll be more productive at the beginning of the week because you've done prep that you didn't know you were doing. So have a super fantastic, sparkling Serenity Sunday and make it nice and relaxing in whatever way you relax, whether it's doing something physical or just kicking back and relaxing with the family, visiting with family and friends, whatever it is, have a super fantastic, sparkling day. He konera.